Hey, what's going on, friends? It's RG over Armadillo Junction. We're doing a day 2 build on the camper. Today we're going to try to get the floor done. I've decided to go with a 5x9 camper, so I'll show y'all what I got going on. All right, got all the wood cut, and what I'm gonna do is we're gonna leave a 6-inch overhang all the way around it. That'll do away with any water dripping like I had on my last one where I built a 4x8 and then the wood seeped on the edges. So that'll do away with all that water issues down there. And I'm gonna come out, of course we're gonna have, outside frame on it. But I'm gonna Kreg jig all this stuff together, use Kreg jig screws for a good tight seal, and then I'll bolt it down to the frame that's already there. And y'all wondering, I am gonna come back with the pocket hole screws to tighten it up real good. I'm just doing a 2.5-inch screw right through the center just to hold everything in place. I'm gonna get it good and square, bolt it down, then do the pocket hole screws. Just easier this way. All right, I'm gonna attempt to show y'all what a Kreg pocket hole jig is if you don't know. Pretty handy making furniture if you want something real tight, a real tight fit. Makes pocket holes. I'm just using a clamp. They make a special like vice grip, but they want like $40 for that vice grip, so I'll just use a clamp. Just put it on your piece of wood like that. And another thing, I don't have quite enough room to get the drill. I have a special drill bit where you can set your gauge depending on how long the screws you're using. There it is. And I don't have quite enough room, so I gotta stick it in to get it started. But you just stick it in and start drilling. And that makes a perfect pocket hole. Like I said, it's really good for furniture and stuff. You can clean those out, put a dowel in there, and sand them off, and you hardly tell there's a screw in there. It takes these special screws. All right, we got the floor all finished up, so we're ready to start the fun stuff, going over the walls and everything. So, hey, what's going on, YouTube? Starting the walls on my camper. And I like the look of my last camper, the radius on top. I'll show you how I'm gonna get that on this one here. I just took a flexible, I got a piece of aluminum strip, a couple of clamps where I want it to end down there. And I can move this around to get whatever kind of curvature I want. Just change if I want it real steep or less curvature. So I'm gonna get it there where I want it, and I'll just go ahead and mark it. Then I'll copy that to the other side after I cut it. Should give me a perfect arch there. Just like that. I'll go ahead and cut that out and just transfer it to the other sheet, and they'll be just the same. All right, I put my cutout piece on top of my next piece of T111 for the wall. If you're using regular plywood, it don't matter, but if you're using something like T111, you need to make sure your grooves are going the same way for the right and the left side of it. I don't know how to explain that if you don't understand, but so the outside is on the outside when you're on your right and left sides. To get my cuts around my fenders, I just used a couple of clamps on a piece of cardboard, and I slowly kind of marked it out and started cutting on it. And I'll take that off and take measurements, and I will transfer it to the plywood and cut it out. All right, I got my fender well cutouts made. Now I'm just trying to square up the body a little bit. Some of my cuts on my plywood for my floor was a little bit jagged, so I'm gonna hit them with the little hand plane, get that smoothed out a little bit. All right, got our sides cut out around our fender wells. I've got the sides mounted. Started squaring it up, getting it good and square up there with this board. But next we're gonna come in and I'm gonna go ahead and get this front wall on to hold everything good and square, and try to decide what I'm gonna do with the AC this time, how I'm gonna make it. So anyway, that's where we're at. Notice I just use these, I screwed some little piece of 2x4 just to hold it up, everything good and level. Since I'm usually out here working by myself and with just a bunch of clamps and stuff. Anyway, let me get the front going and I'll bring y'all back. All right, we got the front wall on. Now we can move on. I'm gonna go ahead and now we'll get on the inside. I'm gonna take some measurements, figure out where I want the air conditioner to be at. Get that hole cut. Then we'll start putting roof joist, rafters, whatever you wanna call them up there. And I'll bring y'all along. All right, we got the AC where we want it. Now all we gotta do is gonna trim it out and finish up that front wall, and then we'll start working on the sides and everything else. All right, we got the front wall all framed in, got the AC mounted. Now we'll move on to framing side walls and deciding on little cabinets and stuff. All right, we got the windows all holes cut out. Got everything framed up. And ready to start the next step. You may wonder why those boards are sticking out. You'll have to wait and see about that.